Good morning or good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the East Meets West live stream, or good evening, depending upon where you are in the world. We'll get going in a moment here. If you've just stumbled across us, just going to be here having a chat with building some Lego and just taking it easy and sort of catching up on the week or two. Been a little while since we've done this. I think I missed out on last week. Been a hectic couple of weeks. Also on all social media, so you can find me here, or easiest place is my website, mattelda.com, and you can subscribe there and be alerted to new content and when I stream. This show is sponsored by McCatson Holiday Homes, just 75 minutes east of London, UK. Great for a holiday or a weekend getaway from the city. High-spec apartments with lots of great restaurants and bars in the area, along with a Lego wall. Visit mccatson.com for details. My streams are drama-free zones and friendly content, so please be respectful in the chat. No bullying or triggering or profanity. And if you like what you see here, then just give a quick thumbs up. It always helps us out, and even consider subscribing. That would be great. And I think with that there, we shall now get started. It's always just trying to get that first thing going here. Okay, so here we are, and having a look along there. Standalone Bricks, great to have you in, and also Brick Studio, good morning as well. What are you guys up to at the moment? Hope you're keeping well, and it's interesting. I must admit I didn't really promote this one very well, so nobody has come along just yet, but if they might actually have a build stream where I actually get to build something, so I always have one of my little emergency sets sort of lying around just ready to go. So looking at some of the speed champions that we've got going on here. So just clearing up the rest of the computers here. And what are people up to out there in the chat today? How's your morning going? What have we got planned for the weekend? So I might just get a bit started here. I'm just wondering with this one if I just pop on a little bit of music. I know that I need to get around to updating it, because on my draw stream, which is tomorrow night, I've had this going for a little while now, and I think I might be starting to register a few complaints. Good morning to Ingrid. Nice to see you along here. Hope your day's going well. Would imagine it must be early morning where you are, like really early. So appreciate you coming along. And let's see now what we got. Let's get rid of this. Where's the? Just trying to get the screen. Take that away. So yep. Okay. Cool. That's good there. And we have Rick's Studio, just chilling. Can't wait to have a live stream feature activated via the YouTube app, probably tomorrow. Is that? I would have thought that you would have had that feature there, Bricks. Are you just? I know with live streaming with YouTube, you can't do it off your mobile until you've got 1,000 subscribers. I think that's just to stop people going out and getting drunk and thinking it's funny to do a live stream on the phone. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure what you might be talking about there, unless there's some sort of direct feed, because I just use Streamlit Yards, which pops in, can actually spread it out. It's also, this stream's also going out on Facebook and Twitch as well. And then just having a look here, what have you said further? Going to stream all my videos live, I think, instead of making them and uploading them. Yeah, that's sometimes a nice thing with doing live streams, is editing can take a really long time. But for me, I think it's a bit of that trade-off. I find the videos that you edit, and they can be hit and miss. They can sometimes, be sort of a bit more like evergreen content in terms of they keep on just going and going, and people keep watching them. Whereas the streams, I find you get your hit as you stream, and you don't have a lot of watch time afterwards. But needless to say, each to their own. You're saying you have to wait 24 hours until it's activated. Is that what you want to do a live stream, and you've got to hit a setting and wait for them to activate it? Because I'm just trying to remember how I did it with this. I think my YouTube channel had going for quite a while before we got into live streaming. I think the live streaming came around when we had a bit more lockdown and things like that. And Ingrid is saying, I have to take Sal to work at the moment. Oh, okay, cool. So just getting your day started there. What do you got here? I think that's most things. Let's just sort of say, always feels a little bit of chaos just trying to get started, particularly for a second. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So, the Speed Champions. This was another one of those ones which they had for sale on, I think it was Amazon or something, so it's almost 50% off. It was interesting having a look through Lego during the release week. Oh, sorry if that gets noisy and horrible. They released their, results, and they're saying for the first half of the year, their sales and everything were up. I think it was 14 or 15%, so a fair bit. But it was interesting then seeing they had a little graphic. I might see if I can just find it actually. I think it's still got it here. Yeah, I think let's just see if I can flip the screen around. So you had here, I don't know how I came across this link. I think it's the Italian website, but they're doing some of the English things, so they released their little statement there. But it's interesting, when they go to top performing themes, you got Technic, Speed Champions, Classic, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Disney Princesses. So Technic, I would imagine, obviously it's an in-house brand, but some of those sets they do get quite expensive. When you got the Lamborghini, and a lot of your biggest sets are 100 plus. And Speed Champions, which is what one of the ones he's working on at the moment. That I would imagine possibly because, at least in the UK, they're everywhere. They're in supermarkets. And I wonder also too, when they're going from the 6 stud wide to the 8 stud wide, obviously it allows a higher price point, and if that's also helping the bottom line. Star Wars, of course, it always does. Interesting to see Harry Potter come back in here. I'm guessing obviously because they're starting to release a whole new wave, and it's kind of doing quite well with that. And Disney Princesses, good to see that coming in there as well, getting a bit of variety. So, yep, I just think I was just curious to sort of see that. What do we do? I think I'll just stop sharing the screen and go back and do just a little bit of building. That's Brick Studios here. 10 minutes before I got out of work yesterday, YouTube Studio congratulated me, my first 1,000 subscribers. Oh, cool. Congratulations. Awesome. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, I would imagine. That's how long did it take you to get to your 1,000? So that's brilliant. I think a lot of people who start putting some time into YouTube, that's one of the benchmarks to hit is that 1,000 subscribers. So It's just nice when, I don't know, you go along to other YouTubers and you see their subscriber counts, and when it's got like 1K as opposed to like 27 or something. So that's excellent. Sorry about the noise, guys. I know this. Just wondering if I should just turn the mic off for a sec. Might just do that because otherwise you're going to hear a lot of. And I've got a super sensitive mic, so 1 second. Okay, we're back from the plastic rattling. He's saying Brick Studios took about 6 weeks because I got 118,000 views showing off the Mario electronic guy. Oh, wow. So you had a video which managed to go somewhat viral. Just to see if we can quickly have a look and see which one that was. That's curious. So yeah, it certainly seems occasionally you see people who just have a video which hits and does really well, and bricks. You can get a lot of subscribers off the back of that, which is cool. Yep. 248 videos, so it looks like where are we at here? So here we have Brick Studio, just hit his 1,000, and saying that you had a Mario video that did. Where are we at? Lego Super Mario figure. So it'll be that one. Let's just sort of see. Let's put my music on pause for a second here if I can find it now, which is always my thing. Okay. We just have the Mario one there. Tell me, looking. If you don't mind me just having a quick little look on the stream. Add to your view count. Oh, that's cool. This looks like a Mario in there. Congrats on that. That's brilliant. We have standalone bricks. I have 55 now. Had 61 yesterday. Nobody wants a deaf Lego YouTuber. I'm happy with that. My goal is 100 by the end of the month. Yeah, I always find the numbers just go up and down. Generally, don't worry about 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever here and there. And I think like like a lot of other people sort of said, the first 100 to get always seems to be a bit of the hardest. I think it's just one of those things. You just keep doing content and doing what you enjoy, and we'll get there eventually. Brick Studio, that video took off like crazy last week, and I hope it keeps growing too. Do you know any ideas why? Was it put on like a Reddit or something like that, or usually sometimes it's because somebody picks it up for some reason, and just, yeah, I can see that the video was put up 4 weeks ago. But yeah, all I was showing was the first. It was almost dead, and it became a hit. Ingrid, thanks for that. Gotta go off and drop someone off to work. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you when you get back. So might actually get a chance to have a quick little build. So I think it was it Solar Brick Builder who really got me interested in the Speed Champions. He did the I think it was one every day for about a week, and then it ended up breaking him. So, speak of the devil, in he comes. I was just thinking about that. G'day, Solo. Actually, got a chance to build something, so I'm going to do one of the Speed Champions. I was just thinking about how much you love the stickers. If there's one thing I can always associate, it'll be you and stickers with these things. Brick Studio, I have no idea, and most people that watched it was people from WhatsApp. Okay, cool. Let's see now. Little driver guy here. A couple of the Two Faces. So, yeah, I must admit the Speed Champions, the 8 stud wide versions, once they started doing those, they become of more interest. I think the kids got a couple of the 6 stud ones over the last couple of years, and it's like, okay, yeah, they're cool, kind of, as cars and things go, but they a lot of the times they don't actually look like what they're meant to. So it was good seeing the 8 stud wide ones. I mean, what do people out there in the chat think? Do you like the 8 stud ones, or you would like the 6 ones, or not really too fussed either way? Yeah, Solo Speed Champions, that's right. It's all your fault. I'm going to blame you. I was kind of thinking, as soon as I mentioned Speed Champions, you might pop onto the stream, and sure enough, there it was. It's funny how that happens. So let's see. So we got a little duty in there. Brick Studios is saying that almost 60% were from WhatsApp. That's where the analytics saying right now. So it sounds like possibly somebody with a large following has WhatsApped it or something like that. Or I think somehow it manages to tag the links or something. I don't know. I see that occasionally too. You have a significant following from WhatsApp or source directed from there. Solo, I can't stay long at the moment. Just trying to finish up at work. Cool. No, thanks for at least popping by and saying g'day. Appreciate that. I think, are you on Greg's stream tonight? So be on for that one. Wasn't on last week. I mean, last week was kind of crazy as well. We're doing our kids' birthday parties at home. So amongst other things, because I know everyone adjusts to what's going on, things like that. So some of the kids' parties, they're quite young and they enjoy having the parties. And obviously due to COVID and things like that, recently a lot of them have been like Zoom calls and things like that with their friends to like have a 10-15 minute party and things. And it's just, obviously people doing what they can, but it just doesn't feel the same. So you don't want your kids to sort of miss out and things like that. So we decided to have parties at our house, which obviously means you've got to go through and clean up and do all that fun stuff. It just always takes a while. And given that you can only have 6 people at a time, we were kind of doing it in shifts. It's like, have the 6 kids, clean up, reset the thing, have them for a couple of hours, have a bit of a break, have some more people come over, and do that a couple of times over the course of a weekend. And by the end of it, you're completely just knackered. But they seem to really enjoy it, which was good, and we seem to be lucky with it because they're obviously going through and changing the things around social distancing and tightening them up. So as of Monday, at least in the UK, it's going to be even more difficult to have get-togethers and gatherings. So at least we managed to do it before that really kicks in, but I don't know how that's going to work. To me, that just feels like it's really going to hammer pubs and restaurants and everything. Now, for some reason, this piece doesn't sit here properly. Standalone bricks, is that a non-folding instruction book? It needs to be framed? Does everyone I get gets folded? Yeah, I think so. Yep, no, it's flat. I know what you mean. You get a lot of things and they're folded. Although, having said that, gone through recently and combined or consolidated all of our instruction books into like really useful boxes. And so it seems like even once you get them, I just don't understand how this thing here is meant to be sitting, because that looks like it should be on the edge. Unless it goes that way around. I suppose, yeah, must go that way. Looks a little weird. So we get onto that. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to do a lot of things last week. So busy doing that, and then other life things happening. So what do people have planned for the weekend? What are we looking at doing? I think we'll just have a quiet one at home. We were looking at getting a dog. The kids seemed really excited, and then when we picked out the particular one, it organised to go and to get it and things like that. I don't think they were particularly interested in the actual breed, so that was a real surprise. That went down like a lead balloon. But it seems like dogs, there's certain things at the moment, obviously due to lockdown, that are really hard to come by. And they seem to be one of them. The other things are like bicycles. I know a lot of people like ordered bikes 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago and just can't get them. Or the usual sort of thing, they order them, oh yeah, be a couple months or whatever, and then, sorry, get a few months down the track and it's out of stock. Bricks is going to go and see my aunt on Sunday. Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's good to be able to at least go and see people. Then Monday and Tuesday going to stream a lot for sure. Excellent. What are you planning on streaming? You got anything lined up? A big massive build or we just got some general plans for content for the channel? So I suppose just catching up on some news and things as well. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. We obviously had a couple of new big sets released. We had the Diagon Alley, which looks like a really good set. But the price on it, I mean, yeah, it's just a very high price. You are getting a lot for what it is. But here, like, it's £370. So it seems to be reasonable value. Does anybody out there in the chat have it? Or looking at getting it? Brick Studio, I have. Stuff to hold on. Oh, we're back. It's always the thing, I guess, doing it by this year. So what are we looking at, Brick Studio? I have a 3-in-1 pirate ship to build, 5 Mario sets to build, and gingerbread house to build too. Oh, so you've got a lot to keep you busy there, streaming for a while. Yeah, that pirate ship looks interesting. Obviously, that came out a little while ago, around the same time they did the Barracuda Bay. And 5 Mario sets. You must have. That's going to be most of them then. Don't even know how many there are altogether. And Gingerbread House. That was. Is that Gingerbread? Was that like a Christmas promotion or? I'm trying to remember. I always get that one a little confused or mixed up with other things. And what do we got here? Brick Studio, yeah, the Christmas set from last year. Just trying to remember, because I remember last year we got the gift with purchase was that Christmas tree one, but yeah, they might have had another one with it as well. So I keep confusing it. Was it with the Lego Ideas? I think they had one at one stage. The Lego Ideas you obviously had during the week, the announcement of the latest round for that. I'll actually just pull that up. A quick little look at that. Because last time you had, excuse me, I just got to try to find the Lego ideas. Yeah, the last round they had 26 entries of people that got 10 to 10,000. This time they've got 35. Where's my share screen? Let's have a look here. So it does make you wonder if they are going to do something with the 10,000 votes criteria, because that if they keep on getting this many submissions through, it wouldn't surprise me if they lift it up. But I think it's just one of those things, as people go along, they figure out, the social media, getting people to vote on it. So I always look at these ones, and it's interesting to try to make predictions and see if you can kind of guess where they might go or what one might get through. Usually look at it for the two criteria. One is, can it get shelf space in a non-traditional Lego store? Because that seems to be one of the things. And is there any sort of anniversaries or things with huge fan bases? So, I mean, that windmill looks cool. Community, I don't really know the property, but I know that it does have a bit of a fan base. I just don't think the fan base is big enough for that one to get through. Lego Hero Quest. I'm guessing that there's going to be some sort of game or D&D or something like that. So, sort of western kind of town, but then you got vehicles in there. I mean, it looks like a cool build. Or is it a TV set? Looks like. So, cool build. Would that go for it? I think, given that years ago they did that Steven Spielberg movie set 1, and then when they did Lego Movie 2, they did some movie set 1s which they didn't seem to go too well, so that might scare them off from that. Pixar House up. Interesting one. We've got Animal Crossing. I mean, that's a Nintendo-esque style property, and I think with the Super Mario, and then obviously Zelda's been asked for, and I think anything anywhere near Nintendo, they've probably got that wrapped up, and so I wouldn't necessarily see that coming through. The car. I think just given the way that they do, or they obviously does cars under their own lines and things, if they're going to do it like as a one of the Fiats, or like when they did the Mini Cooper and things like that, I think they'd just do it on their own. Night at the museum. I mean, it looks like a really nice build and everything, and you got potential for things in that. Again, I don't think the property's big enough. Fast food corner, looks really, really nice, potentially. But again, I would see them maybe doing that under their own modular brand and line. Last Airbender, I think every time there's an Airbender one which comes through, but then it never gets a vote in. Portal 2. Potentially. But I get the sense when they did the Overwatch, it may not have done too well, so they might be a little hesitant with that. BMW M1. Cool builds, but again, I would have thought they'd do that in the Speed Champions line. Caribbean Clipper. You obviously just had the Pirates, Barracuda Bay. Safe. That's a potential sort of one. Depends on how they do it. But I remember seeing JK Brickworks did one, which is a proper working one and everything. So I think, there's possibility to depend upon what the mechanics of that are inside. And obviously they've got the piano, but the piano makes a lot more sense because of what you can do with it. And then the typewriter, which Steve Guinness just had go through. So potentially, but don't know. And the 31 Studios, I don't know if that's a licensed property. I wouldn't have thought so. Southwest. Obviously they do planes in their normal sort of line, maybe not that sort of detailed. And then at the moment, with planes are flying and traveling in COVID, I could see that might be a bit more of a hard sell. Discworld, Terry Pratchett. That looks cool. With the turtle and the rest of it. Maybe, but again, I think Terry Pratchett might struggle with a big enough fan base. Obviously, it's quite significant, but probably not enough to go through. Seasons in Time calendar. That could be something interesting if they got that mechanic in there working. Because if you had that as a real calendar that worked, I don't know. But there's potential in that idea. Exploratorium. Looks like a nice build. Is it something that jumps out and grabs? Probably not. And hello to Marlene. Good to see you along. Just having a look through some of the potential submissions for ideas to become Lego sets which have hit the 10,000 votes and may be considered. Hocus Pocus Cottage. Yeah, possibly. Don't get me wrong, there's quite a number of these which are nice builds and got some interesting ideas happening. Whether or not, if it was sitting on a shelf as a set, it would jump out and grab me, probably not. Probably the same sort of thing with this. I don't know the IP. And compared to, the build of that, compared to that, it depends if they wanted to go for a lower priced ideas set, but I think by the time they invest everything into it, they, I can't remember if there's been any ideas set, which I suppose the Flintstones, that was a bit more on the cheaper side. Gold Rush Mine Roller Coaster. It will come down to, I guess, how they're obviously doing a bit more of a theme park sort of idea within, I think, splitting up the modulars. So there's more of the, the roller coasters and everything. So it would just come down to whether or not they want to do another roller coaster that could slot into that quite nicely. It just depends upon, I guess, if you got the other roller coaster still out at the moment and put that out, maybe if that was a follow-up in a year or two's time, maybe. Because otherwise you might be cannibalizing one roller coaster for the other, and it'll only be the hardcore people who want to get two of them. Starry Nights. I really do like this idea of having the images with the relief and the buildings and things like that, but again, I think it's probably going to be competing with their recent mosaics. So I could quite possibly see, this normally just going into the mosaic line. The Fortress, Imperial Army. I don't know on this one. It's obviously a bit reminiscent of Castle, which so it's a classic castle and things like that. So I don't know, come down to what they feel like they want to do with castles, which recently I think is not a great deal. So I'll get that there. Oh, looks like we got somebody jumping in here. Cyprian, hello, BFAB. How you going?
It's going. How's it going for you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Thanks for popping in. I'll just grab that music, turn that off, because it's silly o'clock where you are, isn't it?
It's 5:44 a.m.
You up? What for? Heading out to work soon?
Yeah. I decided I was gonna go into work a little late today, so I'm gonna go instead of I should have been there at 6 a.m., but I'm gonna go in at 7 a.m. So yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, have you had a chance to have a look at some of these Lego ideas?
Yeah, I currently am working on a video for it, so yeah.
Okay, I'll move on to something else then.
No, you can go it. I don't care talking about it. I mean, that's fine.
I mean, I always find it fun just to sort of go through and sort of look at them and go, okay, what's got a chance to sort of end up actually getting through on the shelf?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't mind.
So yeah, I've just sort of been going through them here. Is there any particular ones which you sort of like the looks of and go, yep, I can really see that being a set?
I mean, there's some that I really like the Exploratorium or whatever that is, and the Night at the Museum set. Those two are my favorite. Do I think they're going to get made? I think it's like a 50-50 on both of those, so.
Yeah, I just think where was it? Went through. That's the Night at the Museum one. Yeah. It's I think with a lot of these ones, like there's some really nice builds. Don't get me wrong. Whether or not, like, I think about it in terms of a big enough fan base for it. I mean, these films, they did 3 of them a while ago, didn't they?
Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, they did like 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, I think Robin Williams was one of the main leads in it. So, like, it looks like, yeah, it's got some cool ideas and things that there. Whether or not it gets through, I'm not 100% sure with that one. And the Exploratorium, where was that one? Just sort of go back past there. Got London Bridge Bricks popping by. Thanks for saying g'day.
Hey, Greg.
Where did the Exploratorium? Yeah, that one. It's quite a different aesthetic for Lego.
Yeah, it's very steampunk-like.
Yeah, particularly with the whatchamacallit, whatever that is on top there.
Telescope, I think.
Yeah, telescope or something like that. So, yeah, no, that's an interesting one. I think, there's so many sort of ones here. I think the ones which I always also look at in terms of how can they get retail space in something which isn't a Lego store, and I think the dogs one's an interesting one, because if they could get into like pet stores or something like that, that would be a pretty wide open market.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's actually a good point. Yeah, I think that one, I wouldn't be surprised if that one got approved. I mean, there's 35 projects. I mean, I say for me, they need to at least approve 5 or 6 of them. Like, there's so many good ones, but also so many crappy ones. Like, there's ones that I know, like, even though they are good, they're not going to make it. Like the fast food corner, like, that's way too similar to modular buildings. People have tried to do that before. That's not going to get made. The bakery is also not going to get made because they're too similar in the modular style, and Lego doesn't, accept those. So,
yeah, I think there's. I think there's quite a number of those, like what you said. I mean, that looks the fast food corner, it looks like it's to be really good and go into the city and all those things. But I think, yeah, they're very much within their own modulars. They've probably got ideas on how they want to do that, and even that the roller coaster one. What is it? The Gold Rush one. Same sort of thing. If great idea and everything like that, but if they are doing their own little theme parks, they've obviously got a roller coaster out at the moment, and how that sort of fits in. What's your sort of thoughts around? Obviously, last time they had 26 get through. This time they got 30. Is it 35?
Correct. Yep. 30. Yep.
Do you think they're going to raise that threshold on the number of votes or start?
So they recently released a press statement on the Ideas website saying that they don't have a reason to raise it at the point. They were saying with COVID happening and more people staying home or whatever, they could understand why votes are up. And so I don't think Lego at the moment has a plan to raise it to more than 10,000.
Yeah. I guess it comes down to also to if you're getting 35 through and they choose like one or two. If
that would be bad.
Because obviously they're going to have a product portfolio on the other side, which says like, we've only got so many slots to put in things coming out the other side. And I think, it'd be a combination of people at home, but then also too, as people go along, I think they're figuring out how to, use social media and activate their followings to be able to, get those 10,000 votes sort of thing. So it'd be interesting to see which way they go and how many they sort of select out of this. Because the last one that they had the 26 ideas, was that the one with the typewriter and everything? Was that round?
I think the one before that was the typewriter. I think. Well, no, actually, let's think.
It's like
there's so many different review stages at the moment. Because these are getting announced early 2021. So let me look, figure this out.
There's a thing there. London Bridge Breaks got to get going. Nice to see you, BFab. See you later, Matt. Yep. Be on Greg's stream later on tonight, UK time. So that should be good. Looking forward to that. I think it kicks off from about 7:30 UK time, 2:30. Is it 2:30 USA time? So definitely pop along to that if you're around.
Okay, so the 26 sets or whatever none of them have been chosen yet. So.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really interesting to sort of see, when they do the 26 sets and how many get through, because usually they've only had, 8, 9, 10, 12 sort of things. So when you look at them, they go, okay, well, 2 or 3 get through, it becomes a numbers game. Whereas if they have the 26 and they go, right, 2 of you get through, it's like...
That'd be a little brutal on the people who work their butts off to get to where they're at. But so the most recent announcement was the one with 12. So out of the 12 that got approved were the Home Alone, Seinfeld, and the typewriter. So that was out of the 12. So a fourth of them got approved, which is actually pretty decent, for what they've usually went with. Because usually, like when there's 12 projects, usually like 1 or 2 get approved. So, a fourth of them were approved, and then we're waiting on out of the 26 projects to see what's going to get approved. And so.
It's it will be really interesting to see with those 26 how many do get through, because like what you say, in terms of the amount of work which goes into it, I put some ideas up there as well on the Lego website. Getting a couple hundred is relatively, you can usually do that with just friends and family and a little bit of promotion. But once you start getting up around 10,000, it takes, a lot of work to be able to do that. So, because even with the typewriter, I was having a bit of a chat with Steve with that. And, he put a lot of work and effort in just to get to the 10,000 and everything. So, it's like what you said, if people putting in all the work and then you've got bugger all chance of getting through.
Yeah, I mean, it's very disappointing. That being said, like, I understand why some people don't get approved. Like, you look at a lot of these projects and you're like, well, they should know not to go in this area. Like when somebody submits like a Star Wars project or in the past or something that looks like a Technic set, it's like, why are you doing that? They're not going to approve it. You're wasting your time, for like I love Robin Hood Bricks. He's cool. I recently subbed him a couple days ago, but like he's been commenting on my videos for like the last 6-7 months. Right. And he made the fast food corner, right? That's not going to get approved, right? You could kind of have that general idea that's not going to get approved because, it's in the modular style.
Yeah, it's in the modular style, and you could quite easily see them doing a partnership with, some restaurant chain or something like that. I mean, that would get interesting. I mean, would they would they turn around to McDonald's and say, "Hey, we can put a McDonald's on the outside"?
So
here?
something really interesting that I got told recently, I don't know how accurate it is, but somebody told me like the reason why Lego doesn't like partner with McDonald's a lot anymore is because they're trying to promote being healthy and they don't consider McDonald's healthy. Because that's why they haven't, from what I was told, haven't made a McDonald's in like years. Like they've done like, like for movies and stuff, they've done partnerships, but they're like, they don't want to promote that type of lifestyle.
Yeah, which I mean that could be the other sort of thing with the fast food aspect of that, as what you're saying there. If they're going that way, but then on the other hand, they're sort of having bank robberies and things. So who knows? But you could see quite easily where somebody could get sensitive and offended by that. So let's try to see what else they sort of.
Also, doorbell is in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. Hi all, hope all is going well. Hope you're going well too. In WA there, great to see you pop along and say hello. Just trying to see if there's the dogs. Just having a quick. Is that Ratatouille? Is that another one? I thought we had that.
He modded it to make it a little bit smaller or something, and resubmitted it. So.
Suppose if you but I just think there's some like that, like the what was it, the last Airbender wasn't that one in like the last round as well?
No, this Airbender is the first time an Airbender set has made it.
Okay,
from what I'm aware of. That being said, I think Airbender could be approved. So my good friend Mini Brick designed that, and right now there's a lot of like hype around Avatar. If the hype doesn't die down, I think it could get approved. Like unlike Fallout, guys, it's just like a fad. Animal Crossing's a fad. I think Avatar could continue on getting popular because right now it's one of the most popular shows on Netflix. So it's kind of had a resurgence. So I think that can likely get made, and I'd love to see it. But every time like a YouTube creator gets their set made, like I'm happy for them. Like you look at Brick Bros UK with Tron and stuff. That being said, after that they vanished from the community, so it's like
yeah, it's went through my 10,000 votes. It took a hell of a lot of effort. Now moving on to something else, but
I mean they had a huge fan base too. I mean I think they had close to like 100,000 subs or whatever, and now they're just gone and nobody knows where they're at. So
what happened with it? Yeah. But because I've never paid too much attention to Airbender, is that like a proper, I'll get it wrong here, anime?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but yeah, it's an anime. So
because obviously you got the Monkey King kid sort of falls into that sort of vein. I was just wondering if Lego would ever sort of do like a sub theme or a theme of just sort of anime properties. Because obviously
that would be interesting, but I feel like a lot of anime properties cross the line. Like Avatar is one of them that don't cross the line. But if you talk to like a lot of people who are a fan of animes, anime has no issue with doing a lot of things that most cartoons wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them sort of fall into that R-rated sort of category. So between the violence and the gore and everything. So has there ever, to your memory, been sort of like an Astro Boy one or something put forward?
Astro Boy for Lego? Not that I'm aware of. But the name just doesn't ring a bell for me.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, it's sort of, I guess, one of those. I was just trying to think that was originally done in the 60s, but then it was always being rerun on English TV and things like that, and it's sort of one of those ones which would fall quite nicely into the kiddie safe ones. It's not over the top violent and everything.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like regarding like animes, Naruto reached 10,000 supporters, and that set is actually very different in the whole like aesthetic, and I think that one would be really cool. Like it kind of has like the Ninjago vibe, but Ninjago doesn't go like full on Oriental or whatever, So
yeah, it's running into this year, Lego were going for a big push into at least China. I know Asia is obviously, China and Japan are different countries and different cultures, but if you're trying to get something which kicks a lot of that there, and then Adora BFAB might be too young for Astro Boy.
What? I'm 75. What are you talking about?
It's sort of, I suppose it's a generation thing. I'm surprised that you haven't come across it before. So,
That character looks very familiar. So
yeah, because I'm trying to think. It was the sort of thing like even in Japan, it's like one of the biggest sort of anime properties from what I understand. Because it was sort of like it was the first, like, and it was only in the '90s, I think. It was like the first anime or manga character to make it onto a Japanese stamp or something like that. Like, so it is quite a big deal. And then they've tried some other, animated films and things like bringing it across to the West, and I don't think they ever really did too well. So, but yeah, so that sort of gets back to showing some of our sorts of ages and things like that.
I think the cool thing is though that Lego is kind of going and reaching all these untapped markets because of ideas. Like ideas has been such a beneficial platform for things that we would never see in Lego form, like Friends. We would have never seen that, or Big Bang Theory. Like all those stuff we would have never seen in Lego if it wasn't for the ideas platform. Because those kind of cross lines where Lego usually wouldn't go. I don't feel like Big Bang Theory is as bad, but like Friends kind of crosses the line sometimes, and Lego made it because of whatever. And I believe it is the most popular set of 2020. It was the best selling set of 2020. So
the Friends set.
As of now, yes, correct.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, that to some degree, that doesn't surprise me. And then on the other hand, it's sort of like given everything else that Lego have done recently, that's obviously quite successful for them. And I guess whoever did the original submission is quite thrilled with it as well.
Oh yeah, because they get 1%. Is it 1 or 2? I'm trying to remember.
I think it's like 1% of net profit or something like that. So, and I remember seeing somewhere it's sort of like it's generally that's enough for like a nice new car, but it won't be enough for a house sort of thing. So yeah,
I think it depends. Like think about it. Like if you like the guy who made the piano, right? The fan designer. It's a $350 set. Even at 1%, it like depends how many copies are sold. This guy can make a crap ton of money because like the value of the idea set, right? Really plays into whatever. Like if it's a $10 idea set, which they've never done a $10 idea sets, but like if there's a $10 idea set, you're getting 1%. That's nothing, But like if you have a $350 set, 1%, even though that's not a lot, if you sell 20,000 copies, that becomes a lot, So
yeah, it just comes down to that usual thing of volume. If the higher price, the less you have to ship. But then if you've got the smaller sets where they end up everywhere in supermarkets and chemists and thrift stores and wherever else, where you've got easier access to purchase and more likely just to make one of those impulse buys. But yeah, I think people sometimes get very upset with the ideas sort of thing, and for me, it's from a corporate point of view. It's like if they think they can make money of it, they'll do it, and if they don't, they won't. Like it's like it's a great way to capture ideas, much like what you're saying, and you get those one-off sets which you wouldn't otherwise get, like getting a Friends set and getting a Seinfeld and those sorts of ones. Like the Lego Ideas is obviously now its own little sub theme or theme, and it's easy enough to slot things in there. And they're obviously going through and numbering them, so if people want to collect them and go, I've got 1 to what's it up to now, 26, 27 or something like that.
It's high up there. I've lost track.
Yeah. So, but let's think about it, because what would be the cheapest one that they've done so far? Is it the Flintstones? Or is it?
So Flintstones, I think, is a $40 set, $50. I bought the first day it came out. So Tron, I think, was $35. The Ecto Suit was $35. Let's see. Let me look on their website. I'm trying to think I don't think they've ever done a $20 set before, but I think like maybe the cheapest was $35, maybe $30.
Yeah, just trying to think if the books were they Lego Ideas, or was that?
The pop-up book? Yeah.
Yeah. Just
That set is such a forgettable set for me. It's like a fad set or whatever. Like you play with it one time, maybe twice, and then you're like, yeah, I'm kind of bored. Why did I buy this?
yeah.
Okay, so the cheapest set is the Research Institute at $20. So
I don't even remember that one.
oh yeah, I forgot about it. It was like a whole like women empowerment thing. No shade at that. We all love women here, but like, the set was not good. I don't know how that got approved. So like, I like the Women of NASA set. That was a $25 set. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But like the Research Institute set was garbage, and that one I'm pretty sure sold pretty well because like I remember trying to go to the store. Like I don't have any like facts about that one and how well that one sold, but like I used to try to go to the store and get that set and it was always gone. And I'm like, then I look back and I'm like, why did I want this set again?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it and it's sort of like, unless the characters or because most of the pieces are pretty generic.
Yeah.
You might have a sticker or two which isn't, and unless they did something with the minifigs, which they've never done before. But yeah, it's. I mean, the other thing though, at the moment, you're obviously getting a lot of the big expensive sets coming out. So I think BFAB just dropped off there. He might have had to go to work, take a call or something. So. We're back over. Let's try and find the doorbell. On behalf of all women, we love you too, BFAB. I'm sure he's going to love to hear that. So, oh, he's back.
Sorry, my phone alarm went off because usually, like, when I'm about to be late for work, it like goes off at this time. But like, I've been working a bunch of overtime, so like, I don't have to be until 12, but I'm going to try to come in at 7. So yeah.
Yeah, you're protecting yourself. It's like, yeah, now I am really late. At least I know.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So, I was just trying to say that got a lot of big expensive sets out at the moment. If there was just you could only afford one, what would be the one that you go for? Would it be the Mos Eisley Cantina? Would it be Diagon Alley?
So there's so many good sets, like you said, so many expensive sets. This year, Lego is going all the way out with like direct-to-consumer sets and stuff. Diagon Alley is a set I'm going to get once I get my next YouTube payout. So I'd have to say that one, but I also love the Cantina, like especially with that lightsaber promo or whatever that's going on. If that is like you could only get Diagon Alley to get that, I might have to buy that too. But there's way too many good sets just to like choose one. But like if I only had to choose one, it'd probably be Diagon Alley. So
let's try and pull up that lightsaber promo because I think do you think that's testing the waters for more within that sort of buildable lightsaber category, or?
I think that we will get. This is not like I don't have any information. I usually have a decent amount of information, but like this year it's been slow with rumors. I'm thinking that we're gonna get 18 plus buildable lightsabers next year, like with a little stand and everything, but like larger scale, So
Yeah, it's. I think you could quite easily see that as its own little subline, a little bit like how you had those helmets and things. Where this just seems to be the next natural progression because you've got a lot of mocks and things online, and well, let's face it, just looking at the parts there, you're talking a lot of cylindrical round parts and things like that. Like there's nothing in there which is outrageous.
Yeah.
So be relatively easy to. I mean, having said that, though, if they did start building them, what would be the first sort of lightsabers you'd want to see?
I think maybe like the really like iconic one, like maybe Yoda's, like not a little small scale one, like a larger one. Darth Vader, all those guys, Darth Maul. Like I think those would be really cool. Like you could make massive lightsabers, 18 plus, have like this huge little display stand, like literally take the promo and like make it 10 times bigger, And instead of having no little like light part or whatever, actually have the light part built. They're just gonna have to like find a way to make that steady and stable, So.
Yeah, I mean that could be the really interesting thing if they do go onto it as a subline. If they would make some sort of the actual blade part like a generic sort of clear piece or something. You put some sort of green light or something in the base of it, and so it would
Well, that's
actually have
even a
some
better
sort of.
idea. I actually like your idea better. I was just thinking, like, using transparent pieces to add the color, but like your whole like light thing, that's actually a really, really good idea.
Yeah, because the kids have obviously just lightsaber toys and things like that, and having just having that light and sound, and if you're doing it in a generic way, like the hum of it going backwards and forwards and stuff like that, like you could really see how um, if they did put the time and money into it, then because they'd be potentially able to do them across so many, like it'd be worthwhile the R&D expense for that.
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, totally.
So yeah, no, it's. I think, yeah, but like what you said, a lot of the direct to consumer stuff this year has been a fair bit of it. It just feels like that way. I'm sure if we go through and do like an analysis on bricks, we'd probably find out it's just the same as every other
Oh
year.
no, they're doing a lot more. I think it's because like this year they're marketing for the 18 plus audience. They're just dropping sets like crazy. They know the AFOLs have the money to buy them, and I think a lot of AFOLs are more comfortable dropping not Lego sets, dropping money on sets that they know that they can, afford it and is targeted for them. Like, the Nintendo set, like I don't know how well that's selling. I know it's doing fairly well, but it's like that one, a lot of AFOLs are going crazy for it. I've seen people that aren't even Lego fans go and buy that set. So,
Yeah, it's interesting because I watch occasionally just some Nintendo channels and things like that, just because I do like Nintendo and things like that, and even some of those guys, like there's one there which has like 1 million subscribers, and he's like, "Yep, not into Lego, but love my NES, and I bought this and I built it, and it was wonderful. Now I'm wondering why I built it, like or bought it. It's like, what am I going to do with this?" It's like,
oh
okay,
yeah,
well,
I mean, I've seen that happen. So yeah.
but yeah, definitely, it's always looking at that, how they're getting to outside the wider market, and I think it's something which Kevin Hinkle has said in terms of they know the AFOLs are going to go in there and they're going to buy stuff, so it's almost like those sales are already made. It's like, how can we extend it outwards? And the Lego did their H1 or half one press release or things like that, and it's like, unsurprisingly, all their sales are up, and the strong categories there has been I think it was like Technic, Star Wars, Speed Champions, even Hogwarts have come back into it and factored into it. So
yeah, I think Harry Potter is one of them. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like the Harry Potter. It's obviously you don't go off and Diagon Alley would have taken a while to design and put together, and it's not like there's been a new film out recently and things like that. I mean, do you think it's just one of those perpetual properties that you don't need to be supported by new films and they can still keep doing stuff?
100%. Yeah, Harry Potter has been one of the best-selling themes, at least in the States. Yeah, Harry Potter has such a loyal fan base. Like, no matter what Lego drops, it's gonna sell well. Like, I remember regarding like Harry Potter merchandise in 2018, all the Harry Potter sets were the best-selling products for Harry Potter merchandise, with the exception of Aragog's Lair. And it's like, yeah, people are willing to buy that stuff. So no matter what Harry Potter set comes out, it's gonna sell well. Like, that being said, the Fantastic Beasts sets, at least in the States, tanked. They did not sell whatsoever. So I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, that's been my impression of it. But I guess it's a bit like sort of what's happened with us. And like, for me, it was released when I was in my 20s, the original like Harry Potter films and things like that. And now that we've got kids and everything like that, like the release of these sets couldn't have come at a more great time, because they're just going through the books and the films and everything like that. It's like, oh, there's some Lego here, and oh, there's a new Diagon Alley. There's like, oh god, this has really gotten expensive.
I mean, I've seen since Diagon Alley came out, a bunch of like Lego fans come out of nowhere and just be like, yeah, I like Lego again because of Diagon Alley. So
cool. I mean, obviously we also had what was it, the Lord of the Rings Legolas actor? What was it? Is it Orlando Bloom? Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think so. And he was doing an interview on one of these late night shows or something or other, and he just happened to be in his Lego room with all the Technic and all the cars and things like that. And yeah, just as you're saying, people coming out of the woodwork. And do you think it's also been a matter that in the last few years the geek culture has sort of moved a bit more forefront, and being seen as a geek and liking this sort of thing has like actually become acceptable? You're not some sort of weird person hiding in your basement.
I think so, especially with a lot of celebrities coming out and saying they like Lego. I think it's really helping our cause because, like, I know Ellen, I remember she posted on Instagram that she had a bunch of Lego sets to build or whatever. And I'm like, wait, Ellen?
Ellen?
Ellen is very iconic in the States. I feel like she's iconic everywhere. Like, what's his name? David Beckham likes Lego. Like, you see a bunch of these celebrities that people look up to that aren't looked at as weird and creepy people, right? And so, like, that I feel like really does help our cause because a lot of us are looked at in a negative light for liking Lego. And if you tell other people without context, they look at you really weirdly. And, over time, it's becoming more accepted where Lego is becoming cool. Like, I think I forgot what happened. I was stream hopping, right? So I was like, going to YouTube, typing Lego going live, and somebody's like, they're finally making Lego sets for adults, and this is amazing. Now I can buy Lego. I forgot whose stream it was. This person had like 3 subscribers or whatever. But I thought it was really cool that they said that. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool because now they're into Lego because Lego's making stuff for them. Like even the whole mosaic thing, you're not reaching only adults, you're reaching art fans too. You're reaching a whole different audience where they're going to buy the sets because it looks good on their wall,
Yeah,
it's a conversation starter, So
yeah, it's the conversation starter, and certainly that was one of the ones when they released that. It's like I can see this sitting in the like interior design section of like your hardware stores or your your design shops and things like that, because you've probably seen it. You walk into some of these places and they've got like the old 80s and 60s and 70s like Marvel posters of like Iron Man and all those sorts of things, like just as pre-made posters or frames or things that you can get. So that was really, really smart for Lego to do that. And then the way that you've got so much different ways you can go with that. Obviously, they've done the Marvel stuff and they've done some Star Wars, but you can branch off and how many different artists are there out there in terms of like the pop art and all that sort of stuff, which could easily go on it. I mean, what would be something you'd like to see on a property on one of those mosaics?
That's a good question. I know that Lego is targeting music and sports. There was an interview that I recently watched with Sorry, I just had to mute myself for a sec. Lego, there was an interview that the founder, Samuel Johnson, or the lead of Idea, said where they're trying to target sports and music at this point. So I would love to see some like iconic sports figures or more musicians made in Lego form, like really iconic people. Like Beatles was really iconic, so they did that. Maybe like a Michael Jackson. That being said, with all the controversy that he has around him now, I don't know how well that would go.
Michael Jackson and kids and a kid's toy.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but like he's very iconic. No matter what he did, if he truly did it. So it's like, iconic dude, but yeah. So I would love to see that in Lego form.
Yeah. No, it's just when you said sports, that opened up a whole thing, because you could imagine if you had like a Michael Jordan one or something like that. Like it's probably bad timing, but whether it be what was the LA player who just recently died in the helicopter?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Like you could just sort of see like, okay, just take the situation out of that. But some of those bigger sports stars, or it might be, I suppose then it just becomes too regional, because you'd have something like, obviously Wayne Gretzky, which you'd sell hundreds of those things in Canada and, in the States, but that might not translate worldwide, whereas probably your musicians would. But there was
no, for sure. That's kind of the issue that you run into. Like you're saying, like, I don't know who that is, but you know who that is, right? Like you don't know everybody that I know, and I won't know
yeah,
everybody you know because we're at different places. And like you said, music does translate better. So there was an interview I was watching again. There's a lot of interviews I watched for some reason. I have way too much time on my hands. Not really, but so like when they made the stadium or whatever, the leader of I forgot who said why can't I remember designer's name? I think Carl designed it. Carl something. They were saying they wanted to reach out to the sports audience, but they didn't know what to design. So they designed the what's the stadium's name?
not the Manchester one.
Yeah, the
I know.
Manchester Stadium. They were looking for iconic stadiums, and they're like, well, everybody knows Manchester, even if you don't, live in the UK or whatever, Manchester United. And so they decided to go with that one. I don't know how well it's selling in the States, but according to the guy, he said the stadium's selling really well, which is great because, I mean, you don't have to be a Manchester fan to want that set. Looking at it, like, just for display alone, it's a gorgeous display piece, so...
Yeah, and it also crosses over being Old Trafford into cricket and things like that. But yeah, very much what you're saying. Like the Manchester, they're massive in the Asian markets. Like it's unbelievable. So that really makes sense in terms of them going that way. But you could really see if they got the really big iconic sports personalities, like your Muhammad Ali and your for football be like Pele and a couple of those sorts of ones. Where they could, you could see that being a whole mosaic subline or something like that. Michael Jordan as well. I mean, particularly on the back of what was it, The Last Dance, Netflix documentary like that. I was into basketball in the 90s when the Bulls were winning and everything, but the number of people recently had no interest in basketball and things like that, but actually love that Netflix documentary. Did you get a chance to see that? Or
I haven't. I don't really watch a lot of like sports related stuff. Kind of not the biggest sports fan. I know it's surprising.
Yeah, that might be why some of these. If you recognize or hear it, you might actually be a good test marker. So, like, I'm not into sports, but I know that person, so yeah.
Yeah,
do that
sure.
And I think I saw, obviously you've got the recent release. I'm sort of catching up on a bit of news. You've got the Levi's and the Adidas or Adidas. I think I watched your video, which I think you're sort of like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I basically said that in a more rated R version, yes.
Yeah, and try to keep it a little bit family friendly. It's not 9 o'clock at night yet here, so it's I've obviously done some stuff with dots, so I do have a soft spot for dots and things, but I do look at that a little bit and going, okay, this is going to get interesting. Let's see how this one goes.
I wouldn't wear it. I just feel like, like maybe at a Lego convention you rock those, but like if you were out in public, you have to ask yourself, like, would you actually want to wear those? And like people are going to look at you and be like, well, this weird guy glued a Lego piece to him and put a bunch of other stuff to it. That's how I feel like it's going to be perceived because like it's not hit. Celebrities aren't wearing it yet. Like maybe if a celebrity wears it, I was talking to Shy about this and he's like, if maybe a celebrity rocked it or whatever, it would blow up or whatever. But like, as of now, if I walk into a store with a Lego piece attached to my shirt with some Lego pieces on there, I will be the weirdest, creepiest person in the store.
Yeah, you'll be walking down the street and get beat up for different reasons.
So it's like you have to ask yourself, like, when do you want to wear that stuff without without being in a Lego convention? Because you are not going to be looked at in a positive light, at least as of now, So.
Yeah, like what you say, if you get somebody who then blows it up, then it might be a bit different. But I think that's where the dots bracelet, it kind of worked because you could get away with that with like kids and things because they'll wear whatever anyhow. And to some degree, I mean, I've even seen some AFOLs wearing them, and they're not as conspicuous, I guess. So yeah, and I can't remember whether it was your video or somebody else. It's sort of like on the jacket they had like the dots on the actual neck. And it's like, is that just a print, or are you actually going to have studs pressing up against the back of your neck because of the way that it's positioned?
I think that's just a print. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, actually, you know what? I don't. No, actually, I don't think that's a print. That might actually be cloth though, because these don't look. It doesn't really look like it's plastic. I can't tell. It's really strange. I'm looking at the images right now.
Yeah, and let's try to see if we can.
All I know is I will never wear it. Lego, if you want to sponsor me and give me some for free, I might rock it and say, like, oh yeah, I love this shirt. It's great. I love it. And then behind, like, you know, once I'm done with the video, I'll be like, this is horrible. Where did I burn it at? Or something. But it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because looking at, that looks a little bit too grainy, but because you can't tell whether that's a print or that is actually a shadow being cast from those studs on the back of the neck.
So I zoomed in on the pants that I'm looking at. I'm currently looking at the pants. That actually looks like it might be plastic, like maybe like a really soft plastic. I can't tell the jacket. You know what? Actually, it might be the same thing. It doesn't look cloth, in my opinion. I originally thought it was. It doesn't really look cloth. It kind of looks maybe it might even be like a rubber piece, like a really like flexible rubber.
Well, I would have. I can't remember where I saw it or heard it or somebody speculating, but they're saying it's basically the same sort of thing as the dots bracelets, which would make sense because I know they spend a lot of time working on that dots rubber because, you know, obviously you can't be walking around having Lego pieces fall off everywhere. So whether or not it's the same thing, but I mean, could you, maybe that's a new form of torture. You'd have one of these and then you start, what are the most interesting spiky bits you can put onto the neck to put onto somebody? Like,
put like the little horn piece or whatever, like you attach like one of those studs with like the hole in it, then you put the horn piece there. That would be fun.
Yeah, doing that. Or some of those crystal and the gems, like, you know, they're solid and they're nice and got like the points going every which way. It's
you basically get some free acupuncture, basically.
Yeah. Here's your own little version of an Iron Maiden.
It's that. I mean, that doesn't seem comfortable, but you know, I want to see people rock it and embarrass themselves and lose all their friends after that. I just want to see it happen. As long as it doesn't happen to me, you know, like.
Yeah. I was going to say it might be happening to you or something like that. So, that would be funny if somebody got a whole bunch of these sorts of things and then, yeah, just stuck them all inside somebody's bit of clothing or something. It's like, here, wear this. It's like you don't have to worry about stepping on Lego anymore. You can have it automatically put into the back of your neck.
That true.
How long can you wear this jacket for? Like, there could be a whole bunch of YouTube content we could create out of this and have some good memes and TikTok and reels and all that sort of stuff.
Somebody was talking to me. They're like, "Yeah, I bet you're gonna buy it." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna buy it." They're like, "I bet you're gonna buy it." I'm like, "Here's the deal: if I buy it, I'll burn it after." So,
well, that's the thing. Like, I haven't paid too much attention to the pricing, but I think the jacket's like $120 or something. Like, it's not cheap.
Oh, you know what? I might not want to burn that if I actually buy
it. You just rip off that part. Yeah, I've got this exclusive air conditioning hole here. It's like, what?
Yeah, at first I'm like, oh, that's not a bad idea. No, that'd be a bad idea. I take it back. If it's that much, I'm not burning
it. Or maybe that's the sort of thing. We get a whole bunch of people together and sort of like, we'll crowdfund you to wear the fanny pack and the jacket and the beanie for a day.
The fanny pack is just so bad though. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my god. Like, even if I could, you know, settle wearing the shirt or whatever, the fanny pack is something like, if I saw somebody in the store wearing that, I'd make fun of them, not to their face, behind their back. Like, the second they walk away, I'd be like, sucker, look at that dude, you know, then walk away, just say it behind their back, not to their face though. Even though it'd be tempting to say, like, dude, you look really bad. So
yeah, I'm just trying to remember when you had Dwayne Johnson in the 90s. Yeah, here's the image. Just try to pull it up. Even The Rock can't make that look good.
Yeah, that's true.
I always love this image, and he was so funny about it years later because he's sort of like, he's actually got a bit of tissue here so he doesn't ruin the shirt when he's leaning up against the wall. Like, it's one of those things. But yeah, that's one of the more interesting ones. And then I mean, the shoes make a lot more sense to me because it's how do you say it? Adidas or Adidas?
Adidas, yeah, that's how we say it, yeah. Adidas sounds so much cooler though, so we'll stick with how you say it.
Yeah, I think it's based upon more the original name and things like that. But obviously, you've got people collect sneakers and shoes, and there's a whole big subculture there, so that could really tap into that. But again, it's just like, okay, you've gone for the bright colors and everything. It's certainly going to stand out. There's not going to be anything like it. Are you putting your name down to get a pair?
I heard they're gonna be 130 at 130. I'll steal a pair. No, I'm kidding. I don't condone stealing. But it's like you're gonna totally stick out if you wear those. Like people are gonna be looking at your feet the whole time. So, do I want them? No. If I'm intoxicated enough and they're online, maybe I'll buy them.
It's one of those intoxicated products.
If you buy it and then you realize you buy it, and you're like, dang it, why did I buy this?
Because what is a normal? I know it's how long's a piece of string question, but what is a pair of trainers usually like Nike or something retail for in the States? Are they sort of around the 100, 130, 150?
I think about like 180 to not 180, 80 to like 150. I think. So.
Okay, so that's sort of in that sort of price range. So they're coming in sort of, I guess, in the middle on that, or a little bit top heavy. But yeah, it's just. I mean, well, what else? What else can they do in terms of wearable Lego?
Yeah, I mean, not really much. Somebody was saying Lego lingerie. I don't know if I'd be cool with that, but
yeah, this got yeah. There's certainly some studs with that.
But I have to head out right now because now I got to drive to work. But it was fun talking with you. I will try to make it to the next stream. So
yeah, no, thanks for stopping by. It's been great to catch up and get your opinions and take on a few things. And I hope you have a good day and take it easy.
Yeah, have fun. See you, man. Bye.
Definitely. Cheers. And for anybody else out there, BFAB has his own channel. Definitely check him out. He usually comes out with a lot of the latest news, and then sometimes there's sort of rumors and things like that, and seems to be able to have a lot of those pretty spot on. So always good to catch up and appreciate him stopping by. And for anybody else out there, what's your take on some of these new Lego wearables? Certainly the dot stuff. I think the bracelets and that, they worked really well. But some of the shoes and the jackets and that, it's like this could get interesting. Let's just put that off for a sec. Excuse me. Just catch up on that here in the chat. I know Brick Studio said, "Hey BFAB," I'm sure did that. Brick Studio Lego just posted on Facebook a Millennium Falcon integrated into a Lego guitar. What's that? Let's see if I can find that. Got Lego. I remember just before I came on the stream, Lego on, I think it was their Instagram. What is it? Lego Falcon, an insane car. Is that? Maybe Brothers Brick has got something. Is this legit or is this just a fan thing? Oh, fan. That's interesting. So you got a high school student in Korea today, aspires to be a Lego designer. Yeah, if you're coming up with these sorts of ideas, probably won't be too long. Meant Instagram, Bricks Studios. Bricks I'm going to buy the IKEA storage bins and the Levi hat and backpack to show off on my channel if it's not expensive. Yeah, the storage bins. I think, again, that was another thing. I think we did discuss this a couple of weeks ago. Again, it's a matter of Lego getting into retail space they're not normally in. So these are these storage ones, because certainly all the IKEAs I've walked into, they don't have any kids' toys. So this could be a great little backdoor way of being able to do that. Just trying to find here. Just a little bit of background. And then Adora, I like the dots. I won't get the sneakers because of the colors. Yeah, I think getting back to what BFab was saying, Lego. Yes. It's got the like the shoe. If you had it all black or something like that, and some studs hidden on it or something like that, then you'd probably mistake it for something else. But certainly, when you go that so bold and graphic, you won't mistake it for anything else. But then on the flip side of that too, you have to, sometimes when they do those sorts of colors, you just sort of look at it and think, well, for me, is that just a rainbow vomit? Like, you've just got, okay, you've got all your primary colors, your red, your blue. You got your primary colors and your red, your blue, your yellow, but then you're adding in some other ones, and it just doesn't, there's just too much going on. It's one of those things where less would be more. So yeah, anybody else out there in the chat? What are you thinking? Would you get the Lego shoes or jackets? They might just get back on and do a little bit more on this Speed Champions. Certainly. And with that, just not getting too far on it. And the other story which has come out recently is Lepin, which is largely it's a knockoff brand of bricks for Lego. So basically, they take Lego sets wholesale, box art, instructions, designs, and basically copy them outright, and then sell them. Anyhow, they seem to be based out of China, and recently they lost a court case against them for infringing on Lego's IP, and the main directors have now got jail terms, which usually is doing a sticker there. Usually IP infringement and things like that within China, when people challenge it, they don't have a tendency of winning. So this has been a bit of a rarity in that Lego haven't been able to actually win now. So, although it's, initial commentary is like, yeah, it's like a Hydra. Another one has popped up elsewhere doing the same thing. So, but it was interesting that did sort of happen. But it does make you. Certainly, if you're using how non-branded Lego within fans of Lego are perceived and used. Like certainly the Lepin stuff where it's just pure knockoff of IP, all the rest of it. Yeah, you can't support that. Some of the other, they usually call either construction bricks or Lego compatible bricks, where they're doing their own original sort of stuff. What do people feel like in terms of how that comes into their sphere, whether or not they like it, they don't like it? If you got companies out there and they're developing their own bricks and products and things without knocking off the Lego stuff, generally don't have an issue with it. Most of the stuff I've come across though is really poor quality. Like, you put bricks together and they don't stay together. But occasionally you find some stuff which it's not too bad. Certainly I've come across some sort of base plates and things like that, which, Lego do like three base plate colors, or things like, gray, white, blue, green. That's it. So if you want a warm color, Lego don't do them. Like a red or an orange or a yellow or something. But yeah, Lego is one of the few hobbies or activities where it seems to generally be frowned upon using anything which isn't Lego, which, like, if you're looking at model kits and things like that and all those sorts of things, the whole thing of the whole terminology of kit bashing, where you're basically taking from different brands and putting it together to come out with an outcome. And it's something which just seems just acceptable and par for it, and trying to have clever usage of pieces and sets and things. Whereas Lego seems to be one of the few hobbies or pastimes or whatever you want to call it, where it's kind of like frowned upon, or it's not looked at the right way. So Dora Braille, I would never buy a Lepin because of the quality, but I've seen some really good merry-go-round set that was an original design from a knockoff brand. Yeah, that's the thing. Lepin is, the quality on it's terrible. Somehow we gotten some of the, but some of the other manufacturers where they're doing their own, designs completely ground up. Like, you can't look at it and go, oh yeah, that's a copy of the Fairground or whatever it is. I think it's always healthy with that, because then just more ideas in the community and people thinking about different things. And I'm sure there's been over the years probably something which has popped up in one of these alternate construction blocks, and a similar idea has filtered back across. I mean, let's face it, you're talking about building stuff, so it's pretty easy to look at a building and go, hey, let's make that out of Lego. Let's make that out of the alternate construction blocks or whatever. Then we got this. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that name because, sorry, I'll butcher it. Or is it Labinga Gameplays or something? Welcome along. It seems like you're over there on Twitch. Thanks for popping by, seeing how we're going. I'm guessing with that that almost looks like Spanish or something. Your comment. I'm just going to have to try to see if I can find that on Twitch. I might have to try to do a translate to figure out what's being said. It's got me curious now. Anybody else out there in the chat know Spanish and can translate? I'm guessing it's Spanish. Just trying to. I'll have to just do it manually. The Google Translator thing, because I can't. Chat doesn't seem to be popping up to figure out what that is. Let's just Google Translate. So yeah. Oh, I've got something a bit further along. Hey man, it was bad for the Portuguese, but I like the Lego. It's cool. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I did try your typing in that translation into the previous one into Google, but we don't have a lot of the readily accessible accent characters. I think previously you're saying something about today being 9/11. Yeah, I mean, it's coming up to almost, well, it's 19 years now, 20 years next year. Seems like only yesterday all that happened and occurred. And then Adora Build, the Lego purists are very vocal. Yeah, I think, it's always good that people are into their things and have different opinions and that, but sometimes I think, as with anything, you can take something a little bit too far. I think with any sort of in any situation, if you don't have alternatives or an opposing voice or something to think about, it's generally not a good, healthy state. Just trying to figure out this sticker or situation here. I'm guessing that's a. Yeah, even in as a general thing, even within politics, I'm careful not to stray into this one too much, but it doesn't matter what stripe you're is. Well, I think whenever you don't have a strong opposition, it just leads to some really bad outcomes all around because nothing gets questioned with any sort of sanity. I mean, you obviously can go the other extreme where everything gets questioned just for the sake of it and sake of saying no. Now, which way around does this go? Like that? Something fell off the bottom, which didn't sound good. Bricks in Lithuania. Thanks very much for stopping on by. Good to see you. How's your day been? I'm going to take a wild guess that you're in Lithuania, so you're probably about an hour ahead of us. So it'll be sort of mid-afternoon. You got anything planned for the weekend? Let's just try to get this other side built. They're looking at it. Oh, that's upside down. That's why I couldn't find that piece. Bricks in Lithuania, my day is going well so far. Excellent, good to hear. Great that you able to stop by and just say g'day in the chat. I always remember because you are doing custom lightsabers and selling them and things like that. Be really curious, actually. What's your thoughts around the that lightsaber promo which is out there at the moment? I think it's going to be the gift with purchase with the Cantina set. Do you think that's going to lead to a whole theme maybe next year of buildable lightsabers? Because obviously you've shown that it can be done. I'm going to be participating in Bricks Hive's lightsaber stream tomorrow. Oh, cool. I vaguely remember seeing something about that. Maybe even asked. But that's the thing these days. Usually a lot of YouTubers and that, particularly in the Lego ones, I subscribe to a lot of them, so after a while there's only so many hours in the day. You can't watch everything, so try and remember who was doing what, when, where, how, and why. It's like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember seeing something about that. To be honest, I didn't like it. Is that just the actual promo set itself? You don't like the build on it? It's not your sort of standard, or you're sort of looking at going, hey, they're going to be doing something which I've been doing. So we had BFAB on a little bit earlier and just having a bit of a chat about that. Possibly doing a whole line and what that might look like. Okay. What Bricks in Lithuania like building lightsabers, making these special, and if Lego is going to do their own lightsabers, my lightsabers aren't going to be as special. Yeah, well, I know that feeling. I did the developed the whole sort of thing around Dot's bracelets and rotating images and mosaics, which then basically is what the NES TV came out, and it's like that incorporated a lot of the stuff I'd been doing. So I had that as a going through the Lego ideas process. So it's sort of like, I know what you mean. You see it and you're just like so deflated by it. It's like, all that time spent on doing that stuff. But I think with the stuff that I was doing with the TV and everything, that was, it's just an idea which was being done in parallel. I don't think there's anything untoward or however you want to say it. So, I mean, the interesting thing was with seeing that Nintendo TV and how that works, just how they solved that engineering problem. Which they did in a pretty sort of clever and minimalist sort of way, but I also do wonder too, like a lot of people really like that TV build and everything, whether or not that's because of that rotating mechanism and how that works. I mean, it could be, but for me, it's sort of like, well, I've sort of solved that as my own engineering problem, so it's not appealing. But yeah, I know what you mean. That's why it's as soon as that got launched, it's sort of like, oh, Bricks in Lithuania, he does a lot of custom lightsabers. Yeah, curious to see his take on it. So yeah, that's what you've been known for. Now we're going here. So thinking, what's the time? I think usually go for about 2 hours. So might give to the end of this bag or something. I guess as a sort of commenting with BFAB, if they do a line of lightsabers and they're able to introduce some cool lights and sounds or something into it, that could be interesting. Brixton, Pennsylvania. Actually, my Bricklink order arrived yesterday, and I ordered some parts for my lightsaber mocks. Yeah, because I think with Solo, I think we may have been in the same. We did a little haul video or something earlier in the week. Just trying to remember if there was two things there. There's the I sent him a little drawing to say thanks for when he's been helping out on my streams and draw streams and things. And I thought that's another. The other part of that may have been yours. Oh, speak of the devil himself, Mr. Solar Brick Builder. How you going?
No, I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. So, excellent. It's funny. We just got Bricks in Lithuania and just started talking about the lightsabers and things like that. And obviously, they're doing that. I think it's the gift with purchase for the Mos Eisley. Is that the one where they're doing that, like Yoda's lightsaber or something?
Oh, yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, well, apparently so, yeah. We're going to be getting Yoda's lightsaber, which sounds very interesting indeed. But obviously, I was talking about it yesterday. Like, how much of it is a rumour, though? That's kind of what we're coming from at the moment. I don't know how true it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we've got the pictures out there, so they're doing something with it. But then just the natural next extension from that is whether or not they then do full-on lightsabers.
Well, yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm really hoping that they are going to do it. I'm praying that they're going to. As I was saying yesterday, it's like it's been too long for them not to make a lightsaber. Too long. This is something they should have probably done about 5 years ago, I think. So
you go with it. No, they're slowly getting there. I mean, they're playing catch up with your ideas, I guess.
Yeah. I reckon they're listening to our live streams. That's what I reckon, Matt. I think they're listening to us. I think we should go. I think we should go to protest outside Lego. It's like we demand to be paid. You're spying on us. We need to be paid.
Yeah, we only need about 3 people to go and do it. And,
yeah, exactly.
Just take along a few Technic bricks.
Yeah. Imagine if we had 4. Wow. Bloody hell. They'd be rolling to us.
You could affect the change then. Both Bricks in Lithuania and Adora Build say hi. So
hello.
Let's see how that's going there. So yeah, because the other thing they could do with the lightsabers is maybe put some lights and sounds in them, because our kids, got some of the just normal toy versions of different licensed properties, and there's just something about that zoom, zoom, zoom. The hum going back and forth.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Oh, mate, that would really make me turn into a kid. That would be. I was just running around my flat going, yeah.
Do you even need an excuse to do that?
No, not really. I mean, I've got 2 FX lightsabers already. I did dare let my daughter get hold of it, because she's already smacked me in places where she should not be smacked anyway with a lightsaber anyway. So, she made me cry. God, so yeah, she's banned from touching the lightsaber again.
Because your daughter's coming up to about 2 or something like that.
Yeah, she was 2 last week. Yeah, last Saturday she was 2. So yeah, very, very busy weekend. Because obviously we dubbed it the coronavirus party. So we're stretching it over 3 days, or 3 weekends, shall we say. So yeah, we had a couple of friends around, and some of our friends on the Saturday. Then we went over to my missus' grandparents on the Sunday, and then this Saturday we're going over to my parents, over to my sisters and all that kind of stuff, to go to a party over there. No more than 6 people. Alright, so put it out there.
Yeah.
No more than 6 people.
No more than
Just
6,
take the
because we had to do the same thing we had last weekend. That's why I sort of remembered it. We had our kids' birthday parties, and we were literally doing it in shifts. So you have your 6 people turn up for 2 hours. They leave, clean up, reset everything. Good wipe down, all that sort of stuff. More people come, and then it's like, okay, then they leave. So yeah, we did that quite a number of times last weekend because our other kid's birthday is like October of that, so we brought that forward. So it's because the weather gets really bad, we're just doing it in our garden. And yeah, then obviously you get the news on Monday that they're really going to crack down on it. So it's like, yep, I'm glad we got that done.
Yep. It's a bleeding bloody nightmare, isn't it, all this stuff? Oh, God. I mean, don't get me wrong, I bet the kids are loving it. They're having parties stretched out throughout the day, or throughout the week now. It's like, yeah, we get to see more people, just in the same amount of people, just in different times now. So it feels like you get more presents.
Yeah. Well, it's the sort of thing our kids over lockdown and that, the closest they got to birthday parties was like, the 10-minute Zoom birthday party calls, which, look, people are doing the best that they can. You can't fault them for that, but it's not the same. So
it's not the same. No, I mean, kids want to be kids, don't they? They want to play with their mates and, drive their parents up the wall in the process whilst doing it. Yeah, according to Thai birthday parties now, because there's less stress of cleaning everything up.
Yeah, whoever said that obviously has never really done too much of a birthday party then.
No, oh God, no, the mess that was garnished behind her, my word. I mean, we only had, because obviously I live in a block of flats, so we're already in that kind of bubble already, where we all interact with each other every day.
Yeah.
You can't help it. We're living in such close proximity. So we're kind of like, well, you guys come up and, and then bring your kids up. They get on really well with each other. And the first thing that both my daughter done and her daughter done as well was literally went into the corner, not play with any toys, just get them out all over the floor. Well, just the mess. Oh, God. Mrs. keeps complaining at me. I'm leaving my Lego boxes in the corner. I was like, yes, that's not a mess, love.
Yeah, but you're old enough to know better.
I should know better, shouldn't I? I mean, she's daring me at the moment, and she's got to be careful how many times she says it to me, because it will happen. So I dare you to buy that Millennium Falcon. It's like, in a real sinister way. I was like, where you can put it? I was like, well, you don't have to live here, do you? Because you've got a lot of mess like kind of around here. So it's like, you move out, I've got Millennium Falcon. I've got somewhere to store it. What the hell?
Yeah, it's just organized mess.
Oh yeah, I mean, I look around at the moment. It's where I've been sorting through a lot of my Lego at the moment. It does look like an absolute mess. It really does. Everything. I mean, because beforehand everything was organised. It sounds really sad, but this is the kind of person I am when it comes to Lego. So, like the prequel stuff will all be kept together. Then the whole trilogy, that'll be all kept together, and then all the sequel stuff, which only takes up probably about a very small part of my collection. Yeah, it's about 2 boxes. I think all I own is literally an X-wing and an X-wing. I think that's all I've got from the original trilogy stuff. So yeah, so that's got a very small proportion. So really, it's the original trilogy and the prequels take up quite a chunk of it, and then Speed Champions and Creator Experts like Speed Champions, mate. Yeah, that's got a whole.
Have you recovered from that stream yet?
I'm slowly getting over it. It's starting to work its way back into my head. Let's do it again. Oh yeah. I've got about 18 more that I need to build yet. So.
Sorry, did you say 18?
18, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's cut. Yeah. I'm looking at the Ferrari set as well. I'm kind of like counting the stickers. Like, oh my days. I don't mind the stickers. I'm not one to grovel against stickers. It's just like, holy hell! It's just doing it in such a sheer volume as what I was doing it at. It was just like, yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But,
that's the sort of thing. Sometimes with your streams, it's sort of like, yeah, give it a bit of time, and you'll see a grown man cry.
yeah. I should really. When every time I do my solo streams again, I should really dub them like the crying man stream. That's what I might call it from now on, the crying man stream. But generally, whatever I build, I always end up like breaking down to absolute tears at the end of it. I think probably my favourite one was when I was building the Barracuda Bay. Bloody hell! Oh God! I think coming up to the end of it, because I was streaming that back to back, non-stop. And yeah, I think by the last of it, I was genuinely losing my mind because I just couldn't work it out.
Well, I think the thing is, until people actually stream, you don't actually appreciate just how difficult it is to try to focus on things, build it, keep an eye on the chat, try to talk, and we're blokes. Like, this multitasking thing just doesn't work.
Yeah, people. I think some people just don't understand like how difficult it really is. It's like they say, "Well, what have you built?" I've built sod all. It's just. For me, it's a damn near impossibility. I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. Especially, obviously, a lot of my streams, even on like Greg's streams, well, I really struggle sometimes to build something. So obviously, I'm out on the road all the damn time, working as well, like doing manual labour. Like coming back and looking at instruction manuals, like, let's try and build something. And there's nothing in the back. And it's not only that; it's obviously I'm editing well at the same time. It's like, as well as I'm streaming, I'm in the editing as well, and also building as well. So, yeah, doing a bit of multitasking on sometimes, very much so.
Yeah, I don't know how some people can sort of do that. It's like, at least, that's a nice thing I like about Greg's streams and that, because you just turn up and it's like, what am I feeling like? Do I actually feel like building tonight, or do I feel like drawing, or like, at least there's that alternative or something to do. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's what that's what I was hoping that people come to my streams and you don't have to be obligated to build. If you want to talk. If you just want to be there to smile, be there and smile. There's no. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the Lego community. We're not just here to enjoy this magnificent, very expensive red brick that we've got out of plastic. Yeah.
A bit of the ABS plastic, yeah. Yeah,
a bit of ABS plastic. It's unbelievable how much people pay for that kind of stuff. It's unreal. It really is. Okay. Oh, God, we pay for it.
Pay for it there. Bricks and Lithuania is out of here. Thanks for sticking around, having a chat. We enjoyed that. Hope that we'll see you again soon. And have a good day. And yeah, the doorbell is saying bye. Cool. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like sometimes when you're hosting a stream and you can tell that somebody's winding up for a big long rant, you're just like, oh, excellent! I can actually get like 3 or 4 steps built in my whatever I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think I'm kind of starting my name as the random man at the moment. I kind of look back at some of the streams. The streams I do, the ones on Greg's, sometimes on yours. Like, my God, I'm just sitting there ranting about rubbish. My God, talk normally, man. God.
No, it's all good. So, no, I like your streams because even if you just watch it, so like at some stage you're going to put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, that generally does happen. That nearly happened my last stream as well. It very nearly did happen. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was maybe the Japanese. I think it was, and I started on them. But I was like, actually, I better stop doing this. I can get in a lot of trouble at some point.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So,
sorry?
No, go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm quite lucky that a lot of my people that comes in my chat have got a relatively quite a sense of humour. So I'm hoping they can kind of take my sense of humour as what it is. I'm never out to offend anyone.
Oh yeah, no. It's just
definitely not how to do that.
Yeah, you're not mean and spiteful in that way. It's just, yeah, like what you say. It's you're dealing with a whole bunch of engineers or people with that mentality where you're taking the Mickey out of each other every day, and coming home and then having to switch off.
Yeah, it's not an easy process. No, but yeah, especially when I started doing it to my missus, because I mean, because when I used to live with my grandparents, obviously I was my granddad sort of understood because he come from the engineering background, but he's obviously part of that old school kind of part. Very strict, very straight and narrow. And my nan was like very prim and proper, head up, back straight, that kind of thing. And obviously when I fully started getting into engineering, and then I eventually started noticing how I started talking differently and how I was approaching people differently. Because you'd be speaking the Queen's English, not insulting people. Like, technically it's the Queen's English, it's just, insulting people at the same time. So, yeah, I don't know, it's just a thing, you're underneath a car or a lorry or a bus or a forklift all day long. It gets a bit monotonous, so you kind of end up taking it out on other people. And none of it's ever vindictive. It's all just out of the time, just to kind of make the day pass along. And the trouble is, I take that to my YouTube channel as well, kind of passing through. Sometimes the cracks do start showing. As much as I do try to be my best behaviour, on your streams or on Greg's streams, sometimes I really hold myself back, like, oh, yeah, get a bit like, oh.
Yeah, we did engineering at university, and it was interesting because you'd have, like, over the summer holidays, you'd have placement, obviously, to go and do some practical work experience and things like that. And when you came back, you could always tell the people who were actually on construction sites, because the language that they were using was phenomenal. It's like, okay, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to break out of that. It's just...
Yeah. Oh yes. Enough to make your hair curl sometimes. Yeah. I've been on some of those sites, and like, wow. Even for me, sometimes it's like, okay, right, brilliant. I'm going to take that back at some point. It's breaking.
It's a bit too much, and it's almost like I found on construction sites, at least, that if you're not swearing, people just don't take you seriously. Like, it's really bizarre in that way.
Yeah, it is a bit bizarre. It's a very bizarre world in the construction industry. Not one that I can really. I've never got used to. I mean, I've worked for companies that were in the construction side of things, but I was always like a driver. I couldn't actually work full time on a construction site. Never, but there you go. That's builders for you. You gotta love them. Got them because they're building our bloody houses for us.
They're building your houses, yeah. If you've got an issue with it, well, back to your tent and tiki, I guess.
Yeah.
The door builds put a comment here. I think you have good intentions, Solo, thumbs up. Plus, Steve once said that the Lego community is like family. We can joke around and be cheeky with each other, but we also have each other's backs. Yeah, I think it's very much like that. And it's...
Yeah,
that's why it's,
I think there definitely has been some naughty goings on within the Lego community. I think is safe to say. I think there have been a couple of people out there that's been out to stir up some trouble. I think is the right word for it, because I'm not going to be naming any names. But yeah, I think there definitely have been. I think it's just like the natural thing, isn't it? I mean, you always get 1 out of 10 people that's going to be just an absolute twat. But yeah, I think there definitely has been someone that has been more than willing to stab you in the back. And yeah, I kind of don't tolerate that. What happened to Mr. Hinkle's stream? Because I don't know a lot about that, but Mr. Hinkle's and his build stream, because he stopped doing that now, hasn't he?
Yeah, if you go onto his what was it? I think it's the last week's draw stream. At the beginning of that, he talked about it, but the short version is that over a number of streams, like, he does a family-friendly stream. He's doing content of that nature, and like what you're saying, like, there's a couple of streams you go on and you watch your behavior, and you keep it in check. that really was starting to get out of control on his stream, and he'd been telling people, "Hey, look, you can't keep doing this. Like, you need to, this is what it is." And he just got to a point where it's like, well, it reflects bad on my brand and what he's doing. So he's sort of like, you know what, I've also got a lot of other things to be doing, so I'm just going to focus on the drawing, because from what he was saying is, on that stream, it's he's been telling people, multiple times, "Hey guys, come on, let's pull it back." Even on that last stream that he did, there was a couple of times there where he just did stop and say, "Hey, look, come on, guys." So I think that would just wear you down. And after a while, you feel like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. And if people want build streams, well, there's plenty of other ones that you can be going to. It's not like he's sort of doing the only one. So
well, yeah, exactly. Plenty of them out there. Don't come to my channel because nothing gets built. So other people build on my channel.
Well, I'm much the same. Like, I mean, it's only been today because the last 2 weeks have just been chaos and so busy and lots of stuff going on that I'm literally just setting the stream up like the hour beforehand, so I never properly did all the promotion and stuff for it. So nobody, there's been like yourself and BFAB who've dropped in and out, but otherwise it's like, oh, I might actually have to build something. Otherwise, looking at a table is not going to be all that interesting. So it's like I've actually built more today than I think I have on the last 6 or 7 combined. Because when you host it, it's just gone to that point now where if you got people in there, you just try to host it. You don't even think really about building or things like that. So
you have all the intention in the world to probably think about start building something, but it just doesn't. Kind of like that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So, although I think, I like the way somehow Sarah Starbucks, like her Thursday stream, she usually manages to do it. That said, she's sometimes got her partner there with her as well, so that helps a bit. But because she's always building stuff, and it's like I think last night was like Diagon Alley, and then before it's been Barracuda Bay and all the Harry Potter stuff. So it's not like it's just a little tiny speed champion set or something. But
no, she when Sarah goes into it, she goes in it big, really. I mean, it's like, I think when she was on my, she was building the haunted house. And here I am. I just got this tiny little microfight here. I was like, I'm gonna build that. I don't know, but yeah. She to me is like the very definition, like her and Mike are the very definition of a proper Lego fan, because they don't just go out and buy like the low end kind of like basic stuff. They go in, they're going to go and buy like Diagon Alley, the haunted house, all the big, real passionate sets. I really admire. I was like, fair enough. I think Mike said on his stream, I think he spent about $1,000 on Lego in that week.
Yeah.
So I think it wasn't only the Diagon Alley they bought. I think they bought the Harry Potter castle as well. I think. So yeah, that's a lot of money. I couldn't even consider spending that kind of much money on Lego, especially that one just killed me.
Yeah, that as well. So, just quickly, you got Lex Daily Brick. Good to see that you're here. Ruth, I see you got Hogwarts. Must be talking to Dora. So, that's been the interesting thing, watching some haul videos recently on people, and you just sort of starting to add it up. And it's like, okay, you got Diagon Alley, you got another big set, you got half a dozen cups of layer, you got this, that. It's like you just walked out with the better part of $1,000, and it's like,
yeah. I say all these people going out mugging people, for their money. It's like, just find someone carrying a Lego bag. There you go. So you've instantly got yourself £1,000 without taking a debit card. Don't do that.
Yeah. And it just feels like, I mean, the price points of Lego, they're all just slowly creeping up, and all the bigger sets and everything. And so I mean, certainly looking over Lego's numbers, they did a release during the week, and it's like, I can see why your profits are up 14% in the last half or something like that. So we've got Lex is in there. How are you, Matt and Solo? Going quite well there, Lex. I would imagine. What time is it with you? It must be about 7 a.m. or something like that. So, yeah, you're obviously on the road today, Solo. You're on Greg's stream tonight? Nope, I think you might be a bit delayed or something. So, you're on with Greg tonight, are you?
Sorry, mate, you brought up. I think my signal's starting to go a bit funky.
Okay, then. Yeah, no, I was just asking if you're on with Greg as well tonight.
Yeah, I'll be on there tonight. Yeah, I'm finishing off my. I think I'm frozen.
No, you're.
Am I back? Am I not?
Yeah, you're back. You're upside down or sideways.
I'm on the ground sideways. I don't know what's going on. I'm just tapping the screen. Please work.
Dora's come back. Hey, Lex. Yes, my Hogwarts finally arrived. I'll be building tomorrow on my stream. Have you finished yours? I thought Lex was he on Sarah's stream. I think he hasn't finished it, or he's getting close to it. So
I think it's a bit close
Adora,
to finishing.
Yeah. Adora, when's your stream? Obviously, you're saying tomorrow. Just, if the timing is right, be good just to watch that live. So, yeah. I think I'll start wrapping this up pretty soon. Been going for a couple of hours now, and I've got the Speed Champions up to the next bag, which I don't want to open just yet.
That's on Greg's stream later on, then, is it?
No, I think I'm thinking for Greg's one, I want to finish off that 4x4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just the way things have always worked out. It's like I've only ever sort of built that on that one, so it'd be nice just to get that done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll start just to wrap it up. So I think, Solo, what have you got coming up on your channel? Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
It was supposed to be today, but I got lazy and I haven't managed to finish off the editing for it. So my unusual review of the Razor Crest, or Bounty Other Transport Ship, whatever they're calling it now, that's going to now go live tomorrow instead of today, because I just haven't got around to finishing it. And then, going to be streaming again, as always, the midweek stream, 7:30 UK time every Wednesday, mostly. And just a load of other random videos, a couple of compare videos as well. And then, it's going to be a new thing that's going to be coming up on channel, but I need to speak to the community first of all. Community video stream will be coming up to get ideas, see what they think. So keep an eye out for that.
Cool. Yeah, no, definitely. I always like seeing what different takes on the community aspect people can sort of do. So just good to always sort of see that. And Dora is saying she's streaming tomorrow at 8 p.m. her time. Doesn't know the time difference, but it's 8:20 here, so about this time tomorrow. So that will be about 1 p.m. Saturday in the UK. So yeah, literally this time tomorrow. So okay, cool. We try to get along to that. During the day, it's always challenging because I like to spend it with the kids and things. And then if I pull out and start watching somebody's channel, then they usually want to get in and have a watch as well. So it goes bad from there because they're starting to understand how live streaming and that works. So they start hearing people talking. It's like, are we on streaming now? Can we get on? Can we? But it's like, And Daily, Ruth, I'm finishing mine on stream tomorrow. Ha ha ha. So we could have some castles, Harry Potter in there. Yeah, as the doors come up, one Hogwarts is finishing and another is starting. And then Lex is like, yeah, you're 12 hours ahead of me, Ruth. Is it 12? I suppose it would be at this time. So cool. As for me, I've got the usual. Tomorrow night is You Say I Draw. So you come along to that, and tomorrow's theme is actually going to be people's pets, because we're sort of doing it. A couple of people, 1 or 2 streams ago, managed to, I think it was in the 10-minute one, sort of get me drawing a few of their pets and things. So this was sort of like a quick one, which I did. So for this one, if people want to send me their pets on Instagram, it will be there's a link below this video, or alternatively, the Instagram link is at @elder_UK. You'll find it there. Just send me a picture of your pet, and I'll do a quick little sketch and things. So that's going to be tomorrow's one. And we've got Legomaniac who's just popped in. We're just literally winding up and finishing up. So good to see you. So that was one quick little sketch that we did. Certainly, if you got any pets or things like that, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. New York, and 6 o'clock in Australia. Definitely stop by for that one. And yeah, just been sort of doing some pet things lately, so I took that same one and then did a quick color. So
Nice.
Yeah, just yesterday or this morning put up a quick little 2-minute time-lapse video of that, of how that got put together, so by all means feel free to check that out. But it's interesting to sort of, having seen that, where it started off as a cool topic. That's kind of me. I think that's just about everything. Solo, any other sort of last words?
No, I just want to finish work. I'm stuck on the M25. I'm just looking at red lights, so yeah, I'm bored.
Which junction are you at?
I'm just coming up to the M3, so I'm going to come off at the M3. Yeah, got a ways to go, but all good. All good.
Yeah. Atiz's life, just finished school, had a half day. Those are great drawings. Thanks for that, Atiz. And asking Adorable how old she is. And Atiz, a bit like Legomaniac, you're coming in right at the very end. We're pretty much done and finishing. So, Lexus, have a good day, everyone. Adorable, I'm good half day, must mean you're good too. Yeah, particularly on a Friday, so like a 2.5-day weekend or something. So, usual sorts of things. If you've enjoyed this, thumbs up in the video, that'd be great. Otherwise, thanks to Solo for popping along, thanks to VFab and Adora, who's been in the chat for a fair while, and Lex, and all the other people who've been around. I think Brick Skitos was there for quite a bit, and appreciate that. And later on tonight, also going to be on London Bridge Brick stream, so you can catch that as well. That's always a good one. And hope everyone has a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.